Imagine finding an altcoin when it's worth 10 cents and watching it climb to $10. That's a 100x return right there. But here's the problem. Most people buy after the pump, after everyone's already talking about it. Today, I'm going to show you my exact process for finding altcoins before they explode. We're going to go through real tools, real examples. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do this yourself. But remember, there are no guaranteed profits. Most altcoins fail. Of the nearly 7 million cryptocurrencies listed on Gecko Terminal since 2021, 3.7 million have since stopped trading and are considered failed. But with the right research, you can stack the odds in your favor. So let's jump in. This is not financial advice, always do your own research. Alright, the first thing I do is track where the smart money is going. And by smart money, I mean venture capital firms and whale wallets. These are the investors who have inside information, deep pockets, and access to projects before they hit the mainstream. The main tool I use for this is CryptoRank. Now, when crypto projects are just starting out, they raise money through funding rounds. Think of it like Shark Tank for crypto. VCs invest millions of dollars in exchange for tokens at a discount. If you can identify which projects are getting backed by the best VCs, you can get in before the general public even knows about them. Let me show you how I use it. On CryptoRank, you navigate to fundraising and then go to funding rounds. You can see here the latest funding rounds and you see the projects, how much they have raised so far and at what stage is the funding round. Now, let me show you a real example. Sui. Since launch, it's up over 1000%. When you look at their funding rounds, you'll see names like Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase Ventures, and Binance Labs. When you see multiple top-tier VCs investing in the same project, that's your first major signal. Here's what I look for. Investment from at least 2 to 3 recognizable VC firms and a funding of at least $10 million. An important thing here, VCs aren't always your friends. They get tokens at massive discounts and sometimes dump on retail investors. That's why this is just step number 1, not the whole picture. Now, I also use Nansen to track whale wallets. This one costs money, so if you're just starting out, you can skip it. But if you can afford it, watching what smart money wallets accumulate before announcements is a massive signal. Step 2 is verifying the team and their development. Now, let's take one project and do a deep dive. This is where most people fail actually. They see a fancy website and big promises, but they don't verify if there's a real team or real development happening. I'm going to show you exactly how to verify both of these. When you open the project in CryptoRank, you can click the tab Team and see the founders. Then you will research them on LinkedIn and see their past experience. As we can see, the founder of Sui, Evan Chang, has worked previously at Apple and at Facebook, so that's exactly what you want to see. Proven experience building complex systems at scale. All of their team has a great past experience, so that's what you want to be seeing. The red flags could be anonymous teams, no verifiable work history, and team members who've been involved in previous failed or scam projects. Next, check their GitHub repository. This is non-negotiable, guys. Here is what I do. First, find the project's GitHub. Then click on Commits under Insights and look at the commit frequency chart. Here you want to see consistent commits, at least 10 to 20 per month for active projects. A healthy project looks like a chart with regular green activity bars. If there hasn't been a single commit in months, that's a massive red flag. Now, after verifying the team and development, the next step is understanding tokenomics. Tokenomics is how the coin supply is structured, who holds what percentage and when they can sell it. Some of the biggest scams in crypto history have been pump and dump schemes, where early investors hold the majority of the supply and dump on the retail investors once the price has pumped. To check a project's token supply and distribution, I typically use CoinGecko or CryptoRank. Here's an example of bad tokenomics on the project Plasma. 25% of the allocation goes to the team and 25% goes to the investors. And only 10% has been on a public sale. That means 50% of the supply is controlled by insiders who got tokens at a massive discount. When these unlock, they can dump and crash the price. Avoid projects like this, I would say. You should be watching for projects that the majority of the tokens are not held by the team and investors. Another thing here is also when token unlocks are scheduled. These unlocks can also cause sell pressure in the price. The next key factor is network growth and adoption. Hype is temporary, guys. Real usage is what sustains price growth long term. You need to verify that a project isn't just marketing, but if it's actually being used. One of the best places to check network growth is Dune Analytics. Key metrics to look for here are daily active users, transaction volume, unique wallet addresses. For DeFi, on the other hand, and for DeFi projects, DeFi Llama is essential. It tracks total value locked. That's how much money is actually being used in the protocol. I personally look for growing TVL and compare the TVL to the market cap. If the market cap is 10x the TVL, it might be overvalued. Another thing to check is the engagement on their social media. You should check their X account, how many followers they've got and how many likes and comments they get on their posts. Real example here. This is the X account of Sui and they got 1.1 million followers and the engagement on their posts is pretty high. Now compare that to Decentraland, which has 600,000 followers but very low engagement on the posts. Crypto communities can be powerful, but some projects rely entirely on hype instead of real adoption. They use tactics like fake engagement by using bots to spam social media with positive comments, paid influencers, and celebrities to pump a token without disclosing sponsorships. Also, raiding social media platforms to drown out criticism and create the illusion of demand. A real community, on the other hand, is different. It asks critical questions, has organic discussions, and doesn't just repeat, "We're gonna make it, wag me," over and over and over again. Alright, so let's say I've done all the research and I want to invest. Here's how I would do it first. First, position sizing. I never put more than 5% of my portfolio into one altcoin. Let's say I have $10,000 to invest in crypto. That means a maximum of $500 per altcoin. But I don't buy all at once. I'm going to buy in 3 phases. First buy $150 now. The second buy $150 if it dips 10%. And the third buy $200 if it dips another 10%. This way, if the price drops, I'm getting better entries. If it pumps immediately, I already have 30% exposure and I'm not chasing. Now, here's my exit plan. At 2x, I'm taking out my initial $500. That way I'm playing with house money. At 5x, I'm selling 50%. At 10x, I'm selling another 25%. And I'll let the remaining 25% just ride. So if this $500 investment goes to $5,000, a 10x, I'll have taken out $2,500 in profits and still have $1,250 invested. This is how you win. And look, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I've got different altcoins I'm tracking. I know most of them will fail, but I only need 1 or 2 to do really well to make up for all the losses. And critically, I write down my thesis for each investment. Why did I buy this? What's the reason? Have I bought because of strong VC backing, active development, and growing TVL or something else? Alright, so that's the complete process. Track smart money with CryptoRank. Verify the team on LinkedIn and the development on GitHub. Check the tokenomics. Track adoption with Dune Analytics and DeFi Llama. And manage your risk with smart position sizing and clear exit plans. This is not easy, I know. It takes work. But if you follow this process, you're going to be way ahead of 95% of people who just buy whatever's trending on Twitter.